Like, it was very methodical in the sense that you started off, you said, this is the sweet spot. This is the area that I want to be the best in the world at. This is where I'm going to start with my camera and where I'm going to invest my time. And this is what I am going to do along the way. But as you said, you start off with 1 subscriber and grow from there. Can you give us a little insight into how that trajectory grew? Because right now, by my visits, and I've been following you for a while, I see that you have more than 4 million subscribers. To start from 1 and 8 years later to have 4 million, tell us how that trajectory go. Was it a slow rise and then a hockey stick, or did you start rising right away?
Well, it was 12 years, not 8 years. It's like the more times you get up at bat, the more chances you have of hitting a home run. It's really that simple. Did I think, okay, was I at like 1 subscriber and suddenly I hit 100,000? No, I just kept putting out content over and over again. You do an interview and you try to make it the best you can. You don't know what's going to be said or discussed during that interview. You have a game plan, but you don't know. That person might say something really profound that you know is going to react to the world. So, year after year, we just kept putting out content. And then, at one point, like, for example, we did this interview with Soulja Boy a few years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago. And the interview became such an internet sensation that people started, it went viral, but then people started to create their own version, of that interview. They started reenacting the Soulja Boy interview themselves and so forth. And you suddenly had all this interesting kind of promotion for your video that you couldn't have planned it out. And over time, you just have these moments over and over again. The more content you put out, the more chances you have of all these moments. Like when I look at, especially during the quarantine, we've probably put out 10 times as much content as our competitors. And you keep putting out more content because you never really know what's going to hit. Sometimes you're like, oh, this is going to be crazy, and it does okay. And sometimes you're like, I'm just going to throw this out, and it goes viral. And you just don't know. Things happen. People react to certain things. Things go viral for reasons that you couldn't have planned it out. But as long as you keep putting out a lot of products, when you work every day, you work 7 days a week, you build a team, you manage that team. Learning how to manage people is a very difficult process for me. I'm an only child. I'm used to, being very solitary. I don't like being around a lot of other people. I don't even go into an office, even though I have an office in New York. Even when I live in New York, I don't go in there. I like to be by myself when I do most of my work. So you have to break out of these shells, and you have to learn how to do all these skills, because, when it's your company, not only a lot of times are you the talent, but you're also the CEO and you're also the manager. You have to wear a lot of hats, and you have to deal with people stealing from you. You have to deal with people trying to, mess up your company from within. You have enemies from within your company sometimes that you may not even be aware of, that are trying to do certain things to bring the company down or take the company for themselves. A lot to go through, and there's a lot of hurdles. But as long as you wake up every morning and you say, okay, like, I'm excited about what I'm going to do with my company today, and you feel that way every day, you're going to eventually do well. It may take a while. I mean, it will take a while. It usually takes some years, sometimes even decades, but eventually it will happen.
So one of the things that you've got to listen and learn from this, and certainly that I would have listened and learned from this if I were still in prison, is the importance of taking action every single day. Vlad has told us that he started off doing one video 365 days a year, and then he's grown that to 7, 8, 10 videos every single day, because he doesn't ever know which seed, is going to turn into a tree or an orchard, or catch fire so that everybody wants to listen to it, which includes grows his brand. But when he does that, and here's something I'm going to ask him next, is tell us about how opportunities started to open for you once you got that big, it sounds like the Soulja Boy interview was the one that really helped you explode. What opportunities began to open for you after that that weren't available to you when you were a guy with a camera?